So, hey everyone, welcome to the Kuma community call. Yeah, please add your name to the attendee list. Last time I showed the mesh service demo, and we looked how to work with mesh services, with mesh multi-zone services, and I think we covered how to create policies for them. But at that point, we haven't yet had the producer policy feature. That's now we have a opportunity to check that. So basically, what's the idea behind producer policy? Imagine that here I have not imagine. Here I have three zones that's running Kuma zone CPs, and I have one global. And I'm going to act as a Redis service owner, and I'm going to provide Redis to all other services in this environment. And as a Redis service owner, I might have some insights on what some values should be. For example, what mesh timeouts my client should use and what mesh retries my client should use and all other stuff, because I might have some insights. And if you want to do this, I will show today how you can do this with a new feature. So first of all, the application is counter demo as usual. This is a simple web app that just increments counter in Redis. At this moment, it goes to zone 3. And yeah, we will think for this experiment that Redis only runs in zone 3. Okay, so for example, if I create the policy that looks like this, I will create this in the namespace of the Redis. Also, I'm specifying two, and I put mesh service Redis. So basically, I omitted top level target ref on purpose, and I specify only the destination of the request. So for all requests that go to Redis, I want to have these values. And this policy will be treated by control plane as producer policy, because I created in the same namespace as the service and I target the same service. So Kuma CP will think that this is producer policy. So let me check. I need to go to zone 3. Here you see on zone 3, I have only default timeouts. And I will paste this. So this two Redis mesh timeout is created in zone 3. And as you can see, it was synced to zone 2 and to zone 1 as well. We can see that a label for this policy, we have like policy role. It now has value producer. And yeah, so we basically classify this policy as producer policy, and that's why we sync this to all other zones that potentially can use Redis. We can double check in the UI that if we go to mesh, data planes, for example, zone 1, if I click here, configuration, so I put like absurd value just to, so we could see that it's there. Yeah, so as you can see, the like cluster for Redis was configured with 202 seconds value. Yeah, so this means the policy were synced and applied on another zone. Yeah, you can also you still can use top level target ref. For example, maybe you don't want all clients, maybe you just want a group of clients. You can always sorry, mesh subset. And you can select a group of clients, for example, only in zone zone 2. And if I apply that, then the policy disappeared from the zone 1 because we don't need, like, we don't have proxies with this label in zone 1. So it only stays in zone 2, and it only configures now a proxy of zone 2. Yeah, I prepared pretty much the same example, but for mesh retry, it's also a policy that potentially you know the best. You know what might make sense to retry, what endpoints. So yeah, you can, yeah, the name is odd. So it's also to Redis, basically. Yeah, so you can take this mesh retry. Yeah, so see to Redis, and now if I check it here, it's also synced here and is applied to proxies of zone 1 and zone 2. Yeah, so that was pretty much all the demonstration. Do you have any questions on that?
Yeah, what does the inspector API on the GUI look like?
At this moment or in general?
Yeah, at this moment with this kind of support.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know,
Like where
James,
you
if you,
were.
just a second. Policies, yeah, you probably don't even have it here yet because it uses resource rules.
Okay, and in the overview, right, in the table, if you click like Redis MZ,
You mean this, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
So it doesn't work here either. Okay.
it's probably in progress because I saw like some of the results already, but it's not in the master.
Okay.
Yeah, so you also, I wanted to show, yeah, I can show that that, for example, we saw that, let me revert the to Redis timeout. So it's now in zone 1 as well. And we go to XDS configuration. And yeah, I want to show also consumer policy. So here you see that 202 seconds is there. Max connect attempts 51. You can basically create. Now imagine that I am the client. I running demo up, and I am using Redis. So I'm like 51. That's way too many attempts. I want 21, for example. And when your service is, when you want to reference service from another zone, you use labels because there is no mesh service with name Redis in our cluster. So I'm using labels. I'm doing this display name, and I put Redis. I can probably put zone contract with zone, but it should work. Zone 3. Yeah, so if I create this policy and I specifically go to the first cluster and I create, I also call this to Redis. Mesh retry. Yeah, so as you can see, to Redis, this one, it now has policy role consumer, which means this policy with value 21 was not synced anywhere else. It sits only in my namespace of a client, and it actually overrides the value that was provided by producer. So if I go here and I update, uh, 21, 35, no, max. Yeah, so if I see that max connect attempts is 21 now, because like policy in your namespace takes over pretty much everything. Yeah, I want to show that. So do you have any questions?
And if you look at the list of policies now, what does it look like? If you go in measures, policies.
Meshes, default, policies, retries. Yeah, so we have two Redis. Yeah, we definitely need some kind of a badge here, maybe saying producer, because this one's consumer, this one's producer.
Right. Yeah, can we open an issue to actually show this?
Yeah,
Whether
we
it's a
can.
producer or consumer policy.
Mhm.
And the target ref that is shown here, is it the top level target ref?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it just
Right.
puts,
So it needs to handle top level target ref, like optional top level target ref correctly.
yes. Let me write this down. Mhm. Yep.
And when I do a producer policy, can I have multiple two entries with different services, or does it have to be a single entry in two?
All the entries should be producer policies. Like you cannot mix consumer and producer. Each entry should be producer, but you can have two different. So for example, if your namespace accepts Redis, you have something else. Technically, you
Okay.
can create uh, this producer policy.
Okay.
Not sure if you have to limit that, but
And the mesh, so okay. And then if I use a mesh service in the producer policy, I must use a target ref kind mesh service and use the name of the service, or can I use something else? With tags, for example, you can select a whole list of services. Is that something you can do? Yeah.
no, if you use labels here, even if label selects the correct namespace, it still won't be considered a producer policy.
Okay. Okay, so that's what happens for producer policy. Okay.
Yep. Anyone else? Any other questions?
I'm assuming that you cannot override the label manually, right?
On the mesh service or?
No. On the policy, you had there's producer or consumer label.
Oh, the CP always overrides it. If you disable webhook, still the decision about syncing makes global based not on the label, but based on, again, analyzing the spec. So
Okay.
even if you send to global something saying producer, but it's not producer, it will understand that and won't sync the policy.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah, if nothing else, we can keep this short. So Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks.
Ilya. That was a great demo.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.